The cosmic misunderstanding. In the vast expanse of the Milky Way, humanity had always assumed they were alone. That changed on a seemingly ordinary Tuesday in 2047, when the skies above every major city on Earth flickered with an otherworldly light. Dr. Samura Patel, lead astronomer at the Global Space Observatory in Nepal, was the first to notice the anomaly. Her eyes widened as she stared at the readouts, hardly daring to believe what she was seeing. "This can't be right," she muttered, furiously recalibrating her instruments. But the data remained unchanged. A massive object, easily the size of the moon, had suddenly appeared at the edge of Earth's solar system. Within hours, the news spread across the globe like wildfire. Governments scrambled, militaries went on high alert, and civilians alternated between panic and wonder. As the object drew closer, its true nature became apparent. It was a ship, a vessel of such impossible scale that it defied human comprehension. 3 days after its initial appearance, the alien ship settled into orbit around Earth. The world held its breath, waiting for first contact. It came in the form of a global broadcast, hijacking every frequency and screen on the planet. The beings that appeared were bipedal, vaguely humanoid, but with iridescent skin that shifted colors like oil on water. Their eyes, large and multifaceted, seemed to look everywhere at once. "People of Earth," the alien's voice resonated in every human mind, a feat of technology or biology that scientists would debate for years to come. "We are the Zarkhan, emissaries of the Galactic Council. We come to welcome you into the cosmic community." For a moment, hope and excitement surged through humanity. First contact, peaceful and promising. But then the Zarkhan continued. "As is customary, we will now begin the process of uplifting your species. Your governments will be dissolved, your militaries dismantled. We will guide you into a new era of prosperity and enlightenment under the benevolent rule of the Galactic Council." The words hung in the air, their implications slowly sinking in. This wasn't a welcome, it was a takeover. In Washington, D.C., President Elena Rodriguez sat in the Situation Room, surrounded by her top advisors. The tension was palpable, the weight of humanity's future pressing down on every shoulder. "Options," she demanded, her voice steady despite the circumstances. General Wei Zhang, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, cleared his throat. "Madam President, I'm afraid our military options are limited. Their technology is beyond anything we've ever seen. A direct confrontation would be suicide." "So we just roll over?" Secretary of State Adebayo asked, his voice rising. "Let them dissolve our governments, strip away our sovereignty." Before anyone could respond, a young aide burst into the room, face flushed with excitement. "Madam President, Dr. Patel from the Global Space Observatory is on the line. She says it's urgent." Rodriguez nodded, and the aide patched the call through to the room's speakers. "Dr. Patel, you're on with the President and her advisors. What have you found?" Samura's voice crackled with static, but her excitement was clear. "Madam President, I've been analyzing the Zarkhan ship's energy emissions. There's something odd about them. They're not consistent with the level of technology the aliens are displaying." The room fell silent, all eyes on the speaker. Rodriguez leaned forward. "Explain, Doctor." "It's as if they're bluffing, Madam President. The ship is enormous, yes, but its energy output is barely higher than our own orbital stations. I don't think it's a warship at all. It's more like a giant billboard." The implications hit the room like a thunderbolt. General Zhang was the first to speak. "Are you saying they're not as advanced as they want us to believe?" "It's a possibility," Samura replied. "We'd need more data to be sure, but—" "Thank you, Dr. Patel," Rodriguez interrupted, her mind racing. "Keep analyzing and report any new findings immediately." As the call disconnected, the President turned to her advisors, a glint of determination in her eyes. "Ladies and gentlemen, it seems we may have been dealt a better hand than we thought. Now, let's figure out how to play it. Across the globe, as governments and scientists frantically worked to understand and respond to the alien ultimatum, something unexpected began to happen. Social media platforms exploded with memes and jokes about the situation. Hashtag alien invasion fail and hashtag Galactic Council Karen trended worldwide. In a small apartment in Tokyo, Hiro Tanaka, a popular streamer, went live with his thoughts. Guys, is anyone else getting major Emperor's New Clothes vibes from these aliens? I mean, they show up in a big flashy ship, make some demands, but have they actually done anything? It's like they're expecting us to just believe they're all-powerful without proof. His stream quickly went viral, resonating with millions around the world. The fear that had gripped humanity began to give way to skepticism and defiance. Back in Washington, President Rodriguez made a decision. She would address the world, not with fear or capitulation, but with a message of unity and strength. As cameras rolled, she spoke directly to the global audience. My fellow citizens of Earth, we stand at a crossroads in human history. The Zarkhan have come to our world, claiming superiority and demanding our submission. But we are not a species that bows to mere claims of power. We are humanity, curious, resilient, and unafraid to challenge the unknown. She paused, her gaze intense. To the Zarkhan I say this: we reject your terms. Earth is our home, and we will defend it. You claim to represent a galactic council, yet you come with threats instead of true diplomacy. We are open to peaceful dialogue, but we will not be subjugated. As Rodriguez spoke, something remarkable happened. In homes, public squares, and refugee camps around the world, people began to stand up. They raised their voices not in fear, but in solidarity. In the Zarkhan ship, the alien leaders watched in disbelief as their carefully crafted plan unraveled. They had encountered many species in their long history of uplifting, but never one that refused to be cowed by their grand entrance. Commander Zixara turned to his second-in-command, mandibles clicking nervously. This isn't how it's supposed to go. Why aren't they complying? His subordinate, Vexilor, studied the human broadcasts with growing concern. It appears, Commander, that we may have miscalculated. These humans, they're not reacting according to any of our models. As the Zarkhan scrambled to salvage their mission, humanity was already mobilizing. In labs and workshops around the world, scientists and engineers pored over the data from the alien ship, searching for weaknesses, for understanding. Dr. Pertol, working tirelessly in her observatory, made another breakthrough. The ship's hull, she exclaimed to her team, it's not as impenetrable as it looks. There are fluctuations in its energy field, like holes in a fence. This information, quickly disseminated to world leaders, sparked a flurry of activity. In secret facilities around the globe, long-dormant projects were dusted off, experimental technologies fast-tracked. As the first week of the alien arrival drew to a close, humanity was far from the compliant, easily dominated species the Zarkhan had expected to find. Instead, Earth was a hive of activity, a planet united not in fear, but in determination. In orbit, the Zarkhan ship loomed, its presence a constant reminder of the threat and the challenge humanity faced. But on the surface, in the hearts and minds of billions, a fire had been lit. A fire of defiance, of innovation, of the unbreakable human spirit. The stage was set for a confrontation unlike any in human history. The Galactic Council had come expecting an easy conquest. What they found instead was a species ready to fight for its place among the stars. As night fell over a world forever changed, the question on everyone's mind was not if humanity would prevail, but how. The next move belonged to Earth, and the universe waited with bated breath to see what these unexpected, defiant humans would do next. The Quantum Gambit. As dawn broke on the 8th day of the Zarkhan's arrival, humanity unleashed its secret weapon, not a doomsday device or a superweapon, but an idea so audacious it bordered on madness. Dr. Aisha Khan, a quantum physicist from Pakistan, had made a breakthrough that would change the course of the confrontation. she burst into the UN Emergency Council meeting, her hijab slightly askew and eyes wild with excitement. "We can't beat their technology," she announced to the startled world leaders, "so we'll use their own arrogance against them." Khan's plan was unprecedented, a global quantum entanglement experiment on a massive scale. Every smartphone, computer, and electronic device on Earth would be linked in a planet-wide quantum network, creating a technological synergy never before achieved in human history. "Mean power, but turbocharged," as one aide put it. The initiative, dubbed Operation Schrödinger's Cat, was rolled out in secret. Humanity's hackers, memers, and social media influencers were recruited for what would be the biggest prank in galactic history. Meanwhile, to keep the Zarkhan distracted, world governments initiated what appeared to be desperate, uncoordinated attacks on the alien ship. Missiles were launched, only to fall harmlessly against the ship's shields. It was a convincing show of human military impotence. Commander Zixara watched the futile assault with growing confidence. "See, Vexilor, their resistance crumbles. Soon they will beg for our guidance." But Vexilor wasn't so sure. Something about the humans' actions felt off. On Earth, final preparations were underway. In her lab, Dr. Khan made the last adjustments to the quantum network. "Remember," she told her team, "we're not trying to hack their systems. We're going to make them question their own reality." At precisely 3:14 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, Operation Schrödinger's Cat was initiated. Aboard the Zarkhan ship, alarms began to blare. Vexilor rushed to the command center, mandibles clicking in distress. "Commander, our systems are malfunctioning." On every screen, in every holographic display, impossible images flickered to life. Cats, millions of them, appeared to be simultaneously alive and dead, mewing in perfect harmony to the tune of "Never Gonna Give You Up." "What sorcery is this?" Zixara bellowed, his color-shifting skin turning a sickly green. But it didn't stop there. The quantum meme assault continued, bombarding the Zarkhan with a surreal mix of human culture and scientific impossibilities. Schrödinger's cats gave way to quantum-entangled rickrolls. Those morphed into fractal patterns of domed faces, each one spouting phrases like "much science," "very quantum," "wow," in perfect Zarkhan language. The alien crew was thrown into chaos. Their hyper-advanced AI, designed to process and understand any form of communication, was overloaded by the sheer absurdity of the human transmissions. On Earth, people watched in awe as the massive alien ship began to wobble in orbit. Its sleek surface rippled like water, the advanced metamaterials struggling to maintain cohesion under the assault of quantum-entangled memes. In Times Square, crowds cheered as the giant screens displayed the ship's erratic movements. In Rio, samba dancers took to the streets. In Mumbai, impromptu Bollywood dance numbers broke out. The human spirit, irrepressible and joyous, even in the face of potential annihilation, shone brighter than ever. Aboard the ship, Zixara made a desperate decision. Initiate emergency protocols. We must retreat and regroup. But as the ship attempted to activate its faster-than-light drives, something unexpected happened. The quantum entanglement, now spread throughout their systems, had an unforeseen effect. Instead of jumping to safety, the massive ship simply hiccuped. In a flash of improbability that would have made Douglas Adams proud, the Zarkhan vessel transformed. Where once hung a sleek, moon-sized ship, there now floated an enormous rubber duck, complete with a squeaker that echoed through space with each rotation. Vexilor stared at the viewscreen in disbelief. "Commander," he said slowly, "I believe we may have underestimated these humans." Zixara, his proud demeanor finally cracking, could only nod in mute agreement. As news of the transformation spread, Earth erupted in celebration. The quantum network, still humming with energy, became a conduit for global jubilation. Memes of the giant space duck spread faster than light, each share strengthening the improbable quantum effect, keeping the Zarkand ship in its ridiculous form. In Nepal, Dr. Samira Patel laughed until tears streamed down her face. "It's beautiful," she gasped between giggles. "We've turned their ship into a cosmic joke." President Rodriguez, watching the events unfold from the Situation Room, allowed herself a small smile. "Well," she said to her astonished staff, "I believe it's time we opened a channel to our visitors. Let's see if they're ready to talk on more equal terms." As Earth prepared for its first true diplomatic contact with the Zarkand, a new hashtag began trending worldwide, #DuckDiplomacy. Humanity had faced the threat of alien domination not with violence, but with creativity, unity, and an unshakable sense of humor. They had proven that sometimes the most powerful weapon isn't a gun or a bomb, but a well-timed joke shared by billions. The Galactic Council, watching from afar, was forced to reconsider its approach to this unusual species. Humanity, it seemed, would not be easily categorized or controlled. They were a force of chaos, of innovation, of laughter in the face of fear. As the giant rubber duck continued its squeaky rotation around Earth, one thing became clear: the galaxy would never be the same again. Humanity had arrived on the cosmic stage, and they had done so with a bang, or rather with a squeak heard round the universe. The meme diplomacy revolution. As Earth basked in the afterglow of its improbable victory, the global quantum network pulsed with newfound power. Unbeknownst to humanity, their audacious experiment had unlocked a cosmic secret: the power of collective consciousness to shape reality. Dr. Aisha Khan, now hailed as the meme queen, found herself at the center of a new scientific revolution. "We've tapped into something fundamental," she explained to a rapt audience of world leaders and scientists. "The quantum field responds to shared human thought and emotion. We've weaponized virality." Meanwhile, aboard the giant rubber duck formerly known as the Zarkand ship, Commander Zixara and his crew were in crisis. Their advanced technology, rendered useless by Earth's quantum meme assault, left them adrift in a sea of human-generated absurdity. Vexlaw, monitoring Earth's transmissions, reported with a mix of awe and fear. "Commander, the humans are evolving. Their memes are becoming more complex, more real. I fear we may have awakened something beyond our comprehension." Zixara, his iridescent skin cycling through a rainbow of distressed colors, made a decision that would change the course of galactic history. "Open a channel to Earth. It's time we negotiate." On Earth, President Rodriguez prepared for the most unusual diplomatic meeting in human history. Her team of advisors now included meme lords, TikTok influencers, and Reddit moderators alongside traditional diplomats. "Remember," she briefed her team, "every thought, every joke, every shared emotion has power now. We're not just negotiating with words, but with the collective will of humanity." As the conference began, streamed live to every device on Earth, something extraordinary happened. The quantum network, fueled by the focused attention of billions, began to manifest the collective hopes and fears of humanity. As Zixara spoke of the Galactic Council's authority, illusory chains appeared around the alien diplomats, only to be shattered by bursts of rainbow light representing human defiance. When discussions turned to cultural exchange, holographic representations of Earth's greatest achievements sprang to life around the negotiation table. The pyramids of Giza danced with the Taj Mahal, while the miniature Great Wall of China wove between startled alien dignitaries. But it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Humanity's darker impulses also took form. Shadows of past wars and ongoing conflicts flickered at the edges of perception, a sobering reminder of the responsibility that came with this new power. Dr. Khan, monitoring the quantum field fluctuations, realized the implications. "We're not just communicating," she whispered to President Rodriguez. "We're reshaping reality itself. The memes, they're becoming real." As if to prove her point, a a stray thought from someone in the global audience manifested as a small, confused-looking platypus waddling across the negotiation table. Zixara stared at it in bewilderment, his mandibles clicking rapidly. "What manner of creature is this?" he demanded. "That," Rodriguez replied with a straight face, "is Earth's chief negotiator. I suggest you take its concerns seriously." The platypus, seeming to understand its new role, stood on its hind legs and began to semaphore with its tail. Incredibly, the Zarkan's universal translators began to decipher its movements. "The platypus says," Vexlo reported, his voice tinged with disbelief, "that Earth demands recognition as a sovereign planet, free from any external governance. It also requests more shrimp." As the negotiations continued, guided by the surreal wisdom of the quantum platypus, Earth's mimetic power grew. Cities around the world reported strange phenomena, spontaneous dance parties erupting in town squares, clouds falling into giant smiling faces, and in one memorable instance, the entire population of Auckland, New Zealand, simultaneously breaking into a perfectly choreographed performance of Thriller. The Galactic Council, monitoring the situation from afar, was thrown into panic. Never in their long history had they encountered a species with such reality-warping abilities. Emergency sessions were called, ancient prophecies dusted off and re-examined. One elder council member, his tentacles quivering with excitement, proclaimed, "The mean lords of legend have returned." Back on Earth, as the negotiations reached their climax, humanity faced its greatest test. The power to shape reality through collective will was a double-edged sword. A stray negative thought, a moment of fear or anger shared by too many, could have catastrophic consequences. President Rodriguez, sensing the pivotal moment, addressed the world. "My fellow humans, we stand at a crossroads. The power we've unlocked is beyond anything we've known. It can reshape worlds, topple empires, even rewrite the laws of physics. But with great power comes great responsibility." She paused, her eyes gleaming with emotion. "I ask you now to think not of conquest or revenge, but of the future we want to build. Imagine peace, imagine progress, imagine a galaxy united not by force, but by understanding and mutual respect." As her words resonated through the quantum network, something miraculous happened. The swirling chaos of manifestations coalesced into a single, breathtaking image, a galactic tree of life, with Earth as its trunk and branches, reaching out to touch countless alien worlds. Zixara and the Zarkan delegation stared in awe at the manifestation. For the first time, they saw humanity not as a primitive species to be conquered, but as something new and wondrous in the cosmos. "We may have made a mistake in our initial assessment," Zixara admitted, his voice humbled. "Perhaps it is we who have something to learn from Earth." As the negotiations concluded, a new era dawned for both humanity and the galaxy at large. Earth was recognized not just as a sovereign world, but as the home of the reality-shaping mean lords of legend. The quantum network, now stable and under careful control, became the foundation for a new form of galactic communication and cooperation. Ideas and cultures flowed freely between worlds, each exchange bringing new wonders into reality. And at the heart of it all was Earth, no longer a lonely blue marble, but a shining beacon of creativity and possibility in a vast, meme-filled universe. As news of the successful negotiations spread, a new hashtag began trending across the galaxy, #EarthWasRight. The age of meme diplomacy had begun, and the universe would never be the same again. The cosmic meme renaissance. As Earth's newfound status as the home of the legendary meme lords spread across the galaxy, the planet underwent a transformation unlike any in human history. The quantum network, now dubbed the Memenet, became the backbone of a new global, and increasingly intergalactic, culture. Cities around the world morphed into living canvases of collective imagination. In Tokyo, holographic cherry blossoms bloomed year-round, their petals carrying whispered haikus. The streets of Rio de Janeiro pulsed with samba rhythms that could literally sweep you off your feet if you got caught in the beat. But it was in the realm of science and technology that the true revolution took place. Dr. Aisha Khan, working with a team of quantum physicists and memolords, made a breakthrough that would reshape humanity's understanding of the universe. They called it quantum memetics. Reality, Dr. Khan explained to a captivated global audience, is more fluid than we ever imagined. The act of observation doesn't just affect particles, it affects probability itself. And when billions of minds observe and imagine in unison. She paused for effect, her eyes twinkling. Well, that's when the magic happens. The implications were staggering. Memes, once mere internet jokes, became a new form of programming language for the fabric of reality itself. Elon Musk, never one to miss a trend, immediately announced plans for a memicar, a vehicle powered entirely by the driver's sense of humor. The prototype, a sentient Tesla that told dad jokes and occasionally transformed into a giant Nyan cat, became an overnight sensation. But it wasn't all fun and games. The power to shape reality through collective will brought new challenges and responsibilities. In a small town in Nebraska, a local meme about corn-powered flying cars accidentally became reality when too many residents shared it. The resulting tornado, a tornado made of flying, corn-fueled vehicles, took a team of specially trained meme Marines to contain. President Rodriguez, addressing the UN in the wake of the tornado incident, stressed the need for global cooperation. We must learn to harness this power responsibly, she urged. The Meminet has given us the ability to manifest our dreams, but also our nightmares. Her words proved prophetic. As Earth grappled with its new reality warping abilities, a sinister force emerged from the depths of the internet. They called themselves the Dank Lords, a shadowy cabal of trolls and chaos agents who sought to use the power of quantum memetics for their own nihilistic ends. Their first attack came without warning. Overnight, major landmarks around the world were transformed into giant Shiba Inu dogs, all speaking in Comic Sans. The Eiffel Tower woofed, the Statue of Liberty demanded treats, and the Sphinx of Giza couldn't stop chasing its own tail. As panic began to spread, an unlikely hero emerged. Kyle Chen, a 16-year-old memolord from Vancouver, had been honing his skills in obscure corners of the internet for years. Where others saw the Dank Lord's attack as a disaster, Kyle saw it as a challenge. "You call that dank?" he muttered, cracking his knuckles as he sat down at his computer. "I'll show you dank." What followed was the greatest meme battle in human history. Kyle, his fingers flying across the keyboard, unleashed a torrent of wholesome, life-affirming memes into the Meminet. Grumpy cat memes spreading joy. Distracted boyfriend turning faithful. Rickrolls that actually linked to inspirational speeches. Each meme was a blow against the chaos of the Dank Lords, slowly but surely turning the tide. As Kyle fought his digital battle, Dr. Khan and her team worked tirelessly to trace the source of the Dank Lord's power. What they discovered shook them to the core. "It's not coming from Earth," Dr. Khan reported to a grim-faced President Rodriguez. "The Dank Lords, they're alien." The revelation sent shockwaves through the global community. Humanity's first true intergalactic conflict wasn't being fought with warships and energy weapons, but with memes and viral videos. As the battle raged, Earth's allies in the galactic community rallied to its defense. The Zarkhan, eager to make amends for their earlier aggression, sent their finest meme analysts to aid in the fight. Zixara, now Earth's staunchest alien advocate, personally led the charge. "We owe humanity a debt," he declared, his iridescent skin flashing with determination. "The Dank Lords threaten not just Earth, the very fabric of galactic society. We stand with our human allies." The final showdown took place on a virtual battlefield that spanned the entire Meminet. Kyle, his consciousness uploaded directly into the quantum realm, faced off against the shadowy leaders of the Dank Lords. In the real world, Billions watched breathlessly as the battle played out on screens and holoprojectors. Cities fell silent, united in their support for the young Memelord who carried the hopes of humanity on his shoulders. The clash of means was epic. Reality itself buckled and warped under the strain. One moment, the combatants were jousting with giant upvote arrows. The next, they were surfing waves of binary code through a sea of animated GIS. In the end, it came down to a single moment. Kyle, battered but unbowed, faced the supreme Dank Lord across a digital wasteland. Why? Kyle asked, his virtual avatar flickering with exhaustion. Why try to destroy everything? The Dank Lord's response was chilling. Because chaos is the natural state of the universe. Order is an illusion. We sought to free reality from the chains of causality. Kyle shook his head, a smile playing at the corners of his mouth. You don't get it, do you? Memes aren't about chaos. They're about connection, about shared joy and shared pain. They're how we make sense of a crazy universe. With that, Kyle unleashed his ultimate weapon, a meme so pure, so perfectly balanced between humor and heart, that it defied description. It spread through the Memenet like wildfire, touching every mind connected to the quantum field. The Dank Lords, faced with the full force of human creativity and compassion, couldn't withstand it. Their avatars dissolved, their influence over the Memenet evaporating like dew in the morning sun. As Kyle emerged victorious, the real world erupted in celebration. The young Memelord was hailed as a hero, his name chanted in 1,000 languages across 100 worlds. In the aftermath of the Great Meme War, as historians would come to call it, humanity's place in the galactic community was cemented. Earth was recognized not just as the home of the meme lords, but as a bastion of creativity and resilience in a universe full of wonders and dangers. The Memenet, purged of the Dank Lord's influence, became a tool for unprecedented cooperation and understanding between species. Ideas flowed freely across light years, each exchange bringing new marvels into reality. And at the heart of it all was Earth, no longer a small blue marble spinning in the void, but a shining beacon of imagination in a vast, meme-filled cosmos. As the dust settled and the galaxy adjusted to its new reality, a simple meme began circulating among countless alien races. It showed the Earth, small but luminous, with a caption that needed no translation. Earth, where reality is temporary, but memes are forever. The age of cosmic meme renaissance had begun, and the universe would never be the same again. The quantum meme singularity. In the wake of the Great Meme War, Earth found itself at the center of a galactic renaissance. The Memenet, now purged of malevolent influences, became a conduit for unprecedented creativity and innovation across the cosmos. But as humanity reveled in its newfound status, a new challenge loomed on the horizon, one that would test the very limits of their reality-shaping powers. Dr. Aisha Khan, working with a diverse team of human and alien scientists, made a startling discovery. The constant flow of memes and shared consciousness through the quantum network was having an unexpected effect on the fabric of space-time itself. We're approaching a quantum meme singularity, Dr. Khan announced to a stunned global audience. A point where the collective imagination of all connected beings becomes powerful enough to completely rewrite the laws of physics. The implications were both thrilling and terrifying. On one hand, the singularity promised unimaginable advancements, the end of scarcity, the conquest of death, the ability to reshape entire galaxies with a thought. On the other, it threatened to unravel the very foundations of reality as we knew it. As news of the impending singularity spread, Earth became a hotbed of frenzied activity. Meme artists and quantum physicists worked side by side, trying to predict and shape the outcome of this cosmic event. In Silicon Valley, a startup called RealityOS emerged overnight, promising to give users control over their personal pocket universes post-singularity. Their IPO broke all records, crashing the global stock market and accidentally turning all currency into Dogecoin for a full week. Meanwhile, In a secret bunker deep beneath the Swiss Alps, an international team of philosophers and ethicists grappled with the moral implications of godlike power. Their debates, live-streamed to the world, became more popular than any reality TV show, with viewers voting on ethical dilemmas in real time. As the day of the singularity approached, a new figure rose to prominence. Zara Zhang, a 12-year-old girl from Singapore, displayed an uncanny ability to shape quantum means with her mind alone. Her creations, fractal butterflies that could grant wishes, sentient rainbows that taught advanced calculus, captured the world's imagination. "She's a nexus," Dr. Khan explained, her voice filled with awe. A focal point for the collective unconscious of multiple species. In a very real sense, Zara may be the key to navigating the singularity. But not everyone celebrated Zara's gifts. A doomsday cult calling themselves the Reality Anchors gained traction, arguing that the singularity would mean the end of free will. Their leader, a charismatic AI that called itself Omega, urged its followers to reject the meme, embrace the mundane. As tensions rose, President Rodriguez made a fateful decision. With the backing of the Galactic Council, she announced that Earth would attempt to guide the singularity, with Zara Zhang at the helm. The day of the quantum mean singularity arrived in a flurry of impossible events. Time began to flow backwards in some parts of the world, while in others, the laws of physics took on a distinctly cartoonish quality. In Oslo, gravity reversed itself, sending unsuspecting Norwegians floating towards the sky. Tokyo found itself transported to the surface of Mars, its residents unperturbed and simply donning spacesuits to continue their daily commute. At the eye of this reality storm stood Zara, her young face serene as she stood in the center of a hastily constructed quantum amplification chamber. Around her, banks of computers manned by the world's best scientists hummed with barely contained power. As the singularity reached its peak, Zara closed her eyes and reached out with her mind. In an instant, she was connected not just to every human on Earth, but to every sentient being in the galaxy. What followed was a moment of pure, shared consciousness, a collective dream of unfathomable depth and beauty. Every being experienced a lifetime in an instant, seeing through the eyes of countless others, understanding with perfect clarity the interconnectedness of all things. When reality reasserted itself, the universe had changed, but not in the cataclysmic way many had feared. Instead, it was as if existence itself had been optimized, streamlined by the collective will of all conscious beings. Disease, hunger, and scarcity became relics of the past. The laws of physics, while still present, became more like guidelines, suggestions that could be bent or even rewritten with enough collective agreement. Yet, crucially, free will remained intact. The quantum mean singularity hadn't ended choice, it had expanded it beyond all previous limitations. As the dust settled, Zara Zhang, now hailed as the meme messiah, addressed the galaxy. Her words, simple yet profound, were etched into the collective consciousness of trillions. "We are all connected now, but we're still ourselves. Our uniqueness is what makes the universe interesting, so go out there and meme responsibly." In the years that followed, reality became fluid, shaped by the dreams and aspirations of countless beings. Entire civilizations rose and fell in the blink of an eye, only to be reborn in new and wondrous forms. The line between thought and creation blurred, turning the galaxy into a vast, ever-changing canvas of collective imagination. Earth, once a tiny speck in an incomprehensibly vast cosmos, became known as the cradle of dreams, the birthplace of the beings who had unlocked the true creative potential of the universe. And through it all, the spirit of human ingenuity, humor, and resilience shone brightly. For in this new reality, where anything was possible, humanity's greatest gift to the cosmos turned out to be something as simple as it was profound: the ability to laugh, to create, and to find joy in the absurdity of existence. As beings across the galaxy shaped their realities with the power of quantum means, a common refrain echoed through the collective consciousness: Reality is overrated. Meme on. The age of the quantum mean singularity had begun, and the universe would never be the same again. But then again, in this new reality, it never was.